Good evening. My name is Gold Vision. Welcome to 7 Second Summer Camp. We're out here meditating. It's another lovely evening here out in Firefly Fields. We're just looking at the stars. We're just gonna have a relaxing evening. I hope that your week has been very low in the chaos department, but I know that that's not possible for a lot of people. So I'm more excited about moving forward from any kind of dissonance or problems, and embracing all the potentials of a beautiful future. We have so much potential, all of us, and the more that we have a concerted effort to move forward with that potential, the more beautiful the world's going to become. I'm pretty excited for it. We're going to play a favorite game of mine shortly. We play a different game, or pretty much a different game every night, jumping back to the good ones as we progress through time. Although, yes, we are stuck at 7:77 p.m. because that's how S'more Hour works around here. But before we get into it, I got a couple announcements, and looks like that's strange. The abject failure portal. It's normally not such a negative sentiment, but I can appreciate it. And welcome to everybody who's already shown up before the announcements. I know this is the boring part. I guess we'll meditate on the abject failure portal because that's the only portal I see while we get through these announcements. It says sugary sodas, and then just kind of trails off. So take that for what you will. It says, these are from the camp director. The best way out of a problem is sometimes through it, which I think we've heard that before, but I guess it's good to hear it again. And finally, wipe your shoes when you get out of the rain. And that's, I don't know, is that from a fortune cookie? It doesn't say where it's from. It probably is from a fortune cookie, but those are great. And I'm glad to share some insights. We're still meditating on this abject failure portal, but it's the nature of reality. Sometimes you're presented with something that you don't necessarily resonate with, but it's there and it's real, so you can't deny its reality. You don't have to let it control you. You don't have to let it become the one thing that is the most important thing to you. So let's just appreciate the existence of abject failure, even though it's not something that I want to spend the rest of my meditation time focusing on, and use it while it's happening, while this is just something that we're suffering through. Let's just take a deep breath. That's our air. That's for our lungs. It's for our body. It's for our cells and our lungs and our blood that's going through and making us stronger and better and letting us stay focused and making things better, and let all that air out. Cycle all of the carbon dioxide and the oxygen. Let it go through you. Let the portal take care of itself. Letting it all take care of itself. We must have gone through it because here's the abject failure marshmallow. Oh no, I guess it's the miraculous joy marshmallow. Well, I'll take that as an alternative. We've converted it. We've cooked it up. And now that's in our system, the miraculous joy. Yeah, there it is, the miraculous joy marshmallow. 3 points spent on that. We'll get more going, and clearly we've spent a lot more points on air, and don't worry, the abject failure portal, even though it exists and it needs to, many other things do too. So we'll leave the stars to themselves in the sky. Let it produce the miraculous joy as we embrace it and step into a beautiful world that I hope hasn't crashed. It has. It was the one thing I was hoping didn't happen the 2nd time. It's alright though. There it is. it'll open right up. While we wait, we'll focus on other things. I think that's funny that happened. We can pick other stars to make things go. There's a question in the interim if it works on the Steam Deck. And I haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure it does. It should, because it's the same interface. It uses a controller or mouse. I believe either or will work. In fact, I think that it might work as a both at the same time, or multiple controllers plugged in will let you use them all at the same time. I think that all works right, and we're in the process of and quickly approaching virtual reality headsets working, which I think is really great. So that way you can play the game as it was originally designed, to look into the world and look at your various targets instead of having to aim. It's a different skill set. It's an evolutionary skill set, and so it was very important that we started with this traditional one of cursors and aiming. But I think we'll I don't think the Steam Deck supports VR yet, but I don't know what's going to happen with that or where it's going to go, and so it should work. I haven't personally tested it, but I hear good things about that wonderful system. So it should be simplified enough that it works. And then let me go ahead and jump into the the world. If you haven't played before, I do recommend PlanetSide 2 for a lot of reasons. One is that it's just a very easy game to jump in, jump out of. If anything, that's its greatest flaw. That you don't get stuck and you're not trapped in it. You're not like, oh, I gotta play another 10 minutes that I don't want to play. I'm not gonna cancel my plans tonight because I have to, so that way I can unlock a little boot or something. You're free to play as long as you want to, and then jump in and out according to your schedule. And it's upsetting that there aren't more games that focus on that sentiment. And those are my settings, and this is my bad internet connection, I guess, or maybe it's just sharing it with things. And we're gonna just see how things are going. As you also know, I tend to approach games with a very peaceful perspective. In fact, I kind of wanted to just go into the VR training for a second. I don't think anyone will be there. I don't think it's an active participant situation right now in VR training. I think most of the people know how to do it. Although I read that recently they've changed it so that way new players have to do the tutorial. So I just kind of want to fly around a little bit where it's safe. I don't know if attacking these VR targets counts as aggression or attacking because they're not real, you know. But this is the shooting range to test out weapons against holograms. I personally won't be attacking them. I'll just be using the Icarus jump jets because they go high and fast. And I'm just going to jump out into the world real quick. Experience the peace of VR. It's very it's fun to deal with the philosophical ramifications of playing in a virtual reality world in a virtual world, because it's very similar. And the point is so that way you can try out any weapon you want to, or any tool, and just kind of experience its functionality without spending your certification points on it. That's the general premise. So there's a lot of parked vehicles that belong to different factions, and these are fictitious players that we can get a cool view of, you know, a cool shot of, just for cinematic purposes, and appreciate some of the art in the world. Like this big tank over here. Just kind of want to warm up and meditate on the amazing art that has been created, these aircraft and things. I do really I would like to do more logistical stuff. but I don't. Yeah, this wonderful aircraft. Which, if you're just learning how to fly, I recommend you try either the Reaver, or the Terran Republic Mosquito, and not the Vanu Scythe, because you can see what's happening better with the engines on the more realistic aircraft. The Scythe is just kind of a very dramatic. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. The engines don't seem to reflect where the aircraft is going, and that becomes dangerous when you're trying to survive or learn the advanced backwards flying tactic, which I forget what that's called. So let's get into. I guess we have to go back to the training facility, and then we can warp to whatever continent is open and available. I really like the peacefulness of the VR area, though, so I like to start off there sometimes. Okay, and here we are on Amerish, and we're gonna go to where we can help out the most. This night I want to concentrate on healing, and just healing wounds and healing each other, healing people who need it, and the adventurous people who we're sharing the world with. Can't tell what the most useful place is, but when in doubt, the Sundra here will guide us. So I do focus on helping other players, and often at my own expense. This is a visually dramatic game, but at least I personally feel like the stress of the world, and maybe it's just because I'm so familiar, is less than the more dramatically violent games, like as we saw with Cyberpunk. That was a painful experience for me. I mean, it was fine, but it just seemed like hard to move forward in that world. It seemed hard to evolve, which was ironic because I think that was the theme of the game. But at least from my perspective, it was difficult. Okay, so it seems like this facility is under duress. The game is full of checkpoints and facilities that get traded for their power-ups and their powers. It's very familiar style. It's just a very massive scale version of that, from base to base and world to world. I don't know if I'll be able to get to Nebu Star Blast fast enough. Well, it is feeling very dramatic, though. That there are problems of many sorts. I do like this crystal cavern and belonging within it, and finding safety within it, and healing those within it. And maybe that's where we'll start. In fact, if you don't mind, it would be great to do a quick crystal meditation here as we slowly lose control of the base. Just appreciating the natural geological formations that surround us all the time, sometimes hidden and sometimes apparent. I'll throw out a revive grenade too, but I don't know if it's going to do anything. Oh, good. Alright, I'm going to close my eyes. Just wanted to make sure I had audio going. Do some deep breathing here in the turmoil.
We close in on victory.
Wow. Did I just get booted out of the world? What, through meditation? That's totally possible. That might be what has to happen. Um, well, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like now I don't really need to go back in right now. Is it still going? No, it's over. I meditated for 2 seconds and it just blasted me out. Could have been a network connection. And it could have been a synchronicity. Could have been abject failure. But it sounded like we were on our way to victory. I don't know. I do really think that the degree of synchronicity there has kind of afforded me the opportunity to just meditate a little further. My appreciation of the crystal caverns and the things around it, the people within and without. It's strange. It has been a little finicky, but now I feel kind of free. I wanted to heal and I did, and I revived somebody, and the battle is going to continue to rage on. But it almost feels inappropriate, at least especially because of the network latency that I was experiencing, just due, I think, to my internet speeds right now. That might be the other reason why I was disconnected. All these combined efforts. So perhaps that's all that needs to happen tonight. I think it is. I think maybe let's just meditate in here for a second. In the tent. Maybe in a different area. Maybe just enjoy existing. Maybe take it to the resource beach. Slowly concentrate our efforts. See how we feel, but I feel good. I feel like I transcended something, honestly. And it feels special. As I was talking about the visual traumas. I hope you like islands, because here's another one. Also, this beach is filled with energy. Isn't that neat? Sure, it looks like garbage and is garbage, but if you focus on it, you can convert it to pure mental energy and clean up the beach at the same time. It's a bit debatable having all this trash in a meditation game, but it's not about the trash as much as it is the visualization of converting trash into energy. It's important to know things can change. It's not all garbage. There's plenty of value in what we already have, even though it's misplaced or discarded. None of this is my stuff, by the way. Don't forget you can get some help from the others. Yeah. I think I'm ready to just exist for a little bit. I've been doing some modifications to the world, so it doesn't necessarily reflect the game that I've put out online, the active one. This one's going a little more slowly, but we're here to convert things, convert negative energy to positive energy. And let's just find objects and spend enough points on them to get abject failure off of the board. I think that'll happen soon. The point of this level is to remove all the negative feelings and emotions. And kind of just focus on things and let them let the negative experience depart. Fill it up with your attention. And sorry that we started with PlanetSide 2 and ended up here. This wasn't really my intention. But I don't think my intention matters as much as what's happening and what can happen next. So there's a comment about um, how PlanetSide 2 doesn't seem to achieve the levels of cooperation that it's capable of, and I find that really interesting. I agree, and there is base building, and there's the concepts that we want to see more of. There's potential for collaboration, but many of the elements are built in traditional FPS tropes to make things happen the way that players are used to, I think. And that's okay, but it's also like it could grow in so many wonderful ways. And I really think that it could, and I really do believe that if there was an influx of players into PlanetSide 2 who could appreciate all the elements that were there, then progress could happen in ways that would be surprising, a reallocation of energy into a system that has been polished over the last decade, you know, like many other games. It's all theoretical. I can't promise it, so I don't actively campaign for that, but I do believe it's possible. I believe that money goes where attention is, and it's why I created a game that would keep track of where you placed your attention and how much points you gave it, so that way you could keep track. You could realize that attention, that consistent attention, your additional power multipliers by giving the things more and more attention will those accumulate, and then you keep them, and you can focus on misery leaving your life, and you can know that you did, and you gave misery what it needed, and you gave it its time, and then it's time for it to move on and be something else, be recycled into something better, which includes becoming more of the horizon. As you slowly let it go, you don't have to try to blink it out of existence and combat it. You can give it what attention it needs. And I think that all games should aspire to create collaborative moments between players. It's the most beautiful thing about the internet, all the potential there. And it really is underutilized in so many ways. But PlanetSide 2 is one of the games that gets you closer than many of the other ones, just because you can have coordinated efforts, and there's built-in platoons and squads and large-scale collaboration. Yeah. It's wonderful in a lot of ways. Yeah, and I think we did it. We got the portal out of here. Abject failure. There's not too much else that we need to do, and it's I'm like changing things, so there's a certain level of frame drops that are happening as I progress in the development of the game. But the general gist here of these birds flying around and helping you as you progress on your journey, focusing their attention on what you are looking at, even if it is the other birds. That's all I think valuable, and it's kind of a a reflection on the power of our attention and how it's combined to make things wonderful and to remove stress from our life. And just clean things up. Take it all out. And let the things that we've appreciated appreciate what we're appreciating now. I think I've become very one note in a broken record. I think I've become kind of crystal clear and redundantly focused. I think it's been an aspiration for a long time. And I really like sharing this person I've become. It's a real departure from who I started off as when I started uploading silly videos to the internet. But it's helped add a lot of clarity to who I am and who I'm not. Just exhausting certain pathways and finding new ones that I've opened up because of it. So I'm really thankful for everyone who's helped get me across so many different finish lines. Let's get disappointment out of here. Oh man. Yeah, I remember the Strands game. That was a bit dramatic. I think I stopped somewhere. You know where I stopped? When you had to incinerate the body of a character pretty early on. Because I was under the impression, and spoilers, there's bodies and incineration, but I was under the impression that, and I think this is in the trailer, so, and the game is older, so I don't feel that bad. But if this is a spoiler to you, you can mute me for a second. But I think that it was confusing because I thought that the problem was that when people died in Death Stranding, they came back to life as monster things, and so you had to like get rid of the body so that way that didn't happen. So I waited. I did one of my wait to see what happens, and I think I left the game running for like 3 days to see what would happen. And I recorded it with an actual camera, but there was just so much media that I couldn't get anything to play the sequence back or export it or anything. And by then I felt like the point had been lost and that people had already moved on to the next game. But I just wanted to see if what they said, that was what they said in the game world lore. It was, you had so many hours, and so I waited that many to see what would happen to the dead body that I was supposed to burn, because I was only going to burn it if it was proven that that would create more problems by not doing so. And then it didn't. Nothing happened. And so I was under the impression that we were in this futuristic world where people could be revived. I think something to that extent. And so the idea of destroying something just because I was told to and not because it was truthfully going to be a problem was a threshold that I wasn't personally going to cross. And yeah, we got disappointment right out of there. And yeah, let's get back to camp. This was Resource Beach though. Yeah, perfect. So you don't necessarily win this game just by playing it. Just by playing it as little as I just did. You have to achieve a little bit more by playing it over time. And it looks a little desaturated because our combo is so low right now, but it'll progress. And it's these are the Patreon producers who got me to where I am today, so I'm really thankful for them. You feel welcome to play PlanetSide too. It's a lot more collaborative than many games. Death Stranding notwithstanding, you're welcome to play that too. You probably have less aggressive standards about the destruction of chaotic bodies or whatever I was trying to make a point about moments ago. And feel free to try out 7 Second Summer Camp as well on Steam. Still unknown if it plays well on the Steam Deck, but it definitely plays pretty good on your PC. So I think that's all that I was going to do tonight. Sorry that PlanetSide 2 kind of helped me erupt out of a moment of being in chaos, and I felt like I needed to respect the game and the way that I was playing it versus how it might be expected of me. But it's still very familiar, and we got a little healing in there, and a little reviving in there, a la Death Stranding, a la anything you'd like. And I think that's it for tonight. I hope that you have a wonderful night, and as always, ask, hold on to your